Jaya, you don't need to have it all figured out. You know, this thing happens in life, which is called hesitation and doubts, and you stay there in this zone trying to take a step, but never really taking it. What I encourage you to do right now is take a moment to just pause and think about this simple thing. What is the simple step? What is the simple next step that you can take that is going to bring you a little bit closer to the goal or to the target or to the vision that you have for your life? If it's a small project or if it's something bigger, it doesn't matter. What matters is just to take a little action forward. What is the best way to learn how to swim? It is not to stand by the side of the pool and look at the water and try to figure out what are going to be the moves. It is to jump in the water and to figure it out by doing it. By doing it, it's not hesitating, it's not waiting, it's not doubting. It is taking small steps that bring you a little bit closer to your goal. And of course, having a vision, having an understanding about where you are going can be really useful. But sometimes you don't have figure it out. Sometimes you are walking in the mist and you don't see the path. You don't see it. This is the magic of it. It is that something somehow knows where you are supposed to be going, where your destiny line is, but you don't have the mental understanding of what this plan is. And this is the magic of it, because sometimes you don't need to have the mental understanding of this plan. Sometimes all you need is a little hint. The Spirit comes in, it gives you an inspiration, an intuition, it gives you a hint. It doesn't give you the full picture. Very often that's the way it works. And so your mind or your rational thinking or your hesitation or your doubts just go like, okay, because I don't have the whole picture, the whole plan figured out, then I'm going to hesitate, step back, and wait for this to be totally figured out. In my experience, that's not the way it works at all. If you wait for everything to be figured out, then you never take action. The way it works for me, and the way it works for lots of people and for lots of projects and for lots of things in life, is that you are right here, right? And you take a small step. And then from that step, you realize, oh wow, the landscape has changed. Something has evolved. Now I see a few steps that I didn't see before. And then you take another step, and you are a little bit further. It doesn't mean that you are all the way to the top of the Himalayas or all the way to the end of your target. No, it just means that you took a little step, that you trust the Spirit, you trust the guidance of your intuitive flow, and you enter into this flow and you start taking another action. And what I encourage you to do is just take like 5, 10, 20, 30 actions that bring you a little bit closer to your goal, a little bit closer to where you want to be. It doesn't mean that you need even to have a goal. It's just a matter of taking a little action forward. And eventually the mental understanding or the rational plan, the logical plan starts coming into picture, and then you go like, okay, now I get it. Now I understand why I needed to take these steps. Because if I didn't go to that specific spot on that specific day and met that specific person, the plan would not have opened up. So all I needed to do was to be at that specific moment in that specific place for the plan to open up a little bit further. So what it takes, it's very simple. It takes faith, it takes trust, it takes understanding that sometimes the logical brain and the rational brain is too limited. Sometimes what you need to trust is your higher intuitive faculties. You need to tap into something that is way, way more subtle than a rational plan. Sometimes there is no logic in the step that you are taking. And guess what? It's still the right step to take. It's still the step that is going to take you a little bit further and closer to where you're supposed to be. That's it, the message for today. You don't need to have it figured out in a square form. The logical brain doesn't need to have it figured out all the way. Yes, the steps will come eventually. You will have a plan that starts making sense, but in the beginning, it's just a little step. So here's the question for you. You've got a vision, you've got a destiny line. So my question for you is like, write down 5 possible steps that you could take today, and then start taking action. Or if you don't want to write them down, just think of just one step that you could take right now that would bring you a little bit closer to your goal. And you will go like, wow, it's a little risk, right? It's a little step beyond your comfort zone, and that's okay. Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and take that little step that is going to bring you a little bit closer to your goal. And guess what? What's going to happen if you do that? Then another step is going to open up, and then another one, and then another one. Magic is on its way. I love you.